Gilmore Girls gets therapized. What happens when you don't get the I love you return that you were hoping for? Mended light. There's this great episode of Seinfeld. Yes, I'm talking about Gilmore Girls, but there's this great episode of Seinfeld where George says I love you to his girlfriend and it doesn't go as planned.
I might tell her that I love her.
That's a big move, Georgie boy. Are you confident in the I love you return?
50-50.
Because if you don't get that return, that's a pretty big matzo ball hanging out there.
And I could not help but think of that exchange as I watched what went down with Rory and Dean. So here's the setting. I'm in the first season. Okay, I don't know how things play out after this, but I'm in the first season. And Dean, for their 4-month anniversary, prepares quite a surprise for Rory. Takes her out to dinner, brings her to a junkyard, shows her a car that he has purchased that is butt crack cheap. I call it butt crack cheap because that's where you keep your bills when you're too poor to afford a wallet. Anyways, but he's bought her this car and he's gonna fix it up for her, and now they're snuggling and it's just wonderful. And then we get to this.
I'm having one of those moments right now.
What moments?
One of those moments when everything is so perfect and so wonderful that you almost feel sad because nothing can ever be this good again.
So, basically, I'm depressing you.
Yep.
You're very weird.
And you're wonderful.
He can't stay. He's got vampires and demons to kill. Because he was on Supernatural. Okay.
Rory,
Yeah.
No way this goes bad.
I love you. Rory,
Yeah.
did you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Well, say something.
Oh.
Yeah?
I love the car.
And that's it?
No, I'm surprised. I didn't expect,
You don't...
It's your 4-month anniversary and you're in high school.
Think about it for a minute.
That's like half your life.
Well, saying I love you is a really difficult thing.
Well, I just did it.
And you did it really well.
What the hell does that mean?
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Please, this totally came as a surprise.
I sympathize with Rory, I do.
And the car, and then I just need a minute to think about it.
This is not something that you think about, Rory. This is something that you either feel or you don't.
Please don't be mad.
Why? Because I say I love you and you want to think about it?
Calm yourself,
You don't wanna
Iago.
discuss it with your mother? Make one of your pro-con lists?
Not fair.
Don't you bring my mother into this.
I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I don't even know what I was thinking.
Dean, please, it's just not that easy for
You were thinking she's lovely.
I mean, saying I love you means a lot. Think about it from my point of view. I mean, my mom and our life. I mean, my mom said that she loved my dad, and then...
You don't get pregnant saying I love you.
I know. I'm just confused.
Someone attended sex ed. Good job, Dean.
It's a really big deal.
Fine, come on.
Dean, please don't be mad.
I'll take you home.
Dean, tonight was amazing. It was perfect. Please, I swear, I just need a minute to...
Whatever. It doesn't matter, all right? Let's go.
So I want to be crystal clear about something. I'm going to offer some pointers and some insights. In no way am I criticizing the writing of the show or these characters, because the fact is these are high school kids. And when I was in high school, I was even more emotional, hard on my sleeve, quick to be offended, quick to have my heart broken than Dean was. And so I've got no place to judge. All that said, if I were Dean's uncle, right, or Rory's uncle, and they came to me for advice now that I'm a middle-aged man and have lived some life, here's some things that I would say. First of all, Rory's right. Saying I love you is a big deal. Dean's right. Saying I love you is a big deal. Like, he just put himself out there. The issue is not that he said I love you. The issue is that he had a script in his head of how this was going to go. And that script didn't really allow room for Rory's free will or for Rory to need some time. He was expecting, and listen, bless his heart for this, he was expecting this wonderful anniversary evening where he takes her to dinner, he says all the right things, he genuinely cares about her. From his meager bag boy at the grocery store earnings, he bought her a car that he's going to fix up for her, and now they're snuggling in it under the stars. Like, it's if you're going to tell someone you love them, it's not bad. It's not a bad plan.
That is so romantic.
But I don't know what he had in mind for after this. She'd say, I mean, I do, that she'd say, I love you back, and that they would kiss, right? Because at this point, they are pumping the brakes on virginity, right? So knowing Dean, he's not pushing for anything more here, but it didn't happen the way he wanted it to. He was hoping for the reciprocation. He was hoping to be affirmed that she loves him back. Again, the issue is that he had this whole script that she was expected to follow without ever being given a heads up. If he had said, I love you, and I don't need you to say it back, I just need to express it because I need you to know. And she could have said, thank you, that's so beautiful. They still could have kissed. And he could have given her time and space to come around, right? Or to say it then if she wanted to. But for her, there's her family history. Her mom got pregnant at the same age she is to her high school boyfriend. And Rory is very cautious about just taking things very slow, physically, but also emotionally. And Dean knows this. And I'm not saying Dean's being a jerk. I mean, some of you might look at this and say, Dean's being a total jerk. And I'm like, he's kind of being a teenager. So maybe that's synonymous. I don't know. But I'm reminded of a time in college where I had a girlfriend. My first college girlfriend had a very different personality than me. She was not very sentimental or emotional or tenderhearted. She was a lot of fun. But I, especially at that point, it was very romantic, right? And we get to this point where I tell her I love her, and I'm expecting this big moment. And I said, I love you. And I kid you not, guys, she looks at me for a while, and then she goes, thank you.
Emotional damage.
And that was the beginning of the end, because I was a few years older than Dean, and I couldn't handle that. Like, I was expecting the I love you return. Like, I totally sympathize. So maybe Dean is being a jerk, and I can't see it because I'm too close to this, okay? That might be the case. But I do see where Rory's coming from. And again, when it comes to relationships, it's all about expressing what you need to express and honoring what the other person chooses. And look, it may be for Dean that, okay, I said I love you. If she doesn't get there soon-ish, then we're in different places with this relationship, and that's not a fit for me. And that's okay. But the problem is not even this moment. This moment, he reacts emotionally, but that's comebackable, right? We all have emotional reactions. He could come back and apologize and own it and say, hey, my head wasn't in the right place, and I'm sorry. But instead, he just breaks up with her. He just breaks up with her and then avoids her, and now they're not talking, right? And there's no chance to mend the fences or to even have like a follow-up conversation. He's just, he feels like he put himself out there, he got rejected, and so that's it, he's done, he runs and he hides. And that's the real issue, right? So to be clear, earlier when I said I don't know what happens, I mean I don't know what happens after this season, right? We're talking about season 1. So season 1, I'm good. I know what happens. Because later in the season, Chad Michael Murray is hitting on her and being a doofus like he always is. And Dean shows up at Rory's school because Rory swung by his house, talked to his sister, and then chickened out and ran away. And they didn't reconcile. And then we see this.
Never, never. I am never going anywhere with you, ever.
These tickets cost me a fortune.
They cost your daddy a fortune.
I don't even know anybody else who's into this stupid guy.
PJ Harvey's a woman. What are you doing?
You'll get him back when you agree to go with me.
You're pathetic, Tristan. Keep the books. I'm leaving.
Tristan's such a doofus. Dean.
Dean?
Cargo pants and a leather jacket.
Dean!
A sweater with a stripe down it.
Here?
I dress like that.
I'm leaving.
Don't go.
I shouldn't have come.
No, wait.
I feel like an idiot.
Why?
Because I come all the way out here and I see you with him. That's just great.
No, Tristan was just...
I don't care.
No, listen.
He's got your books, Rory.
But he took them. He wouldn't give them back. Please, just tell me why you're here.
Come on, Dean.
I don't even
Doesn't
know.
mean
Yes,
anything.
you do.
He's got your books,
I
Rory.
thought Forget it.
No, say
I
it.
thought you were trying to talk to me.
Oh.
I mean, you came to my house.
That wasn't me.
It was you.
It must have been someone that looked like me.
My sister recognized you from the pictures in my box.
In what box?
The box of stuff I have of us, pictures and letters and everything from you.
You have a Rory box?
And what was going on at the town meeting? All that
Easy,
stuff
Rory.
about writing a song.
I don't know what I was talking about.
That had nothing to do with me? Well, I must have imagined it all then.
Speak, Rory. Say something.
Boyfriend's waiting.
He's not my boyfriend. I hate him.
Whatever.
Dean!
What?
Stop!
Why?
Because I love you, you idiot!
That's a great line. And then the needle drops with early 2000s pop love ballads as they suck on each other's faces. Chad Michael Murray, he's mad. He's going to take off and go spend time in A Cinderella Story and Princess Diaries and a bunch of other movies. Wow. Okay, so love is always a risk. And vulnerability is always a risk. And not just romantically. In any circumstance, speaking your heart is a risk that you could get rejected or that it's accepted and it doesn't work out later on down the line. But I've heard it said that pain is the price that we pay to experience love. And the only way to not experience pain is to not experience love, right? And then what's the point of that? And again, I'm not talking just romantic. Family members, friends, sometimes they burn us. Sometimes they put their needs first. Sometimes they say and do things that hurt us. I think it's a great moment of risk on Rory's part. Just to say what she was already feeling. We all know that she loves Dean, right? It was always there. Even on their anniversary, by then it was already there. She was just too scared to say it. But to me, it's worth the risk, right? I've loved and lost. You've loved and lost. Like, we've all been there. But at the same time, those experiences shape us, and they teach us how to love better. When I say worth the risk, it's not worth the risk if the person is abusive. I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about your standard garden variety human interactions. Did you ever say I love you and not get it back? Or did you ever swing and strike out? Tell me the story in the comments below so I don't feel so alone up here. And I know you're loving these videos because you watched this one to the end and you want more. The good news is I've got so much more to give you. I've got an entire playlist of Gilmore Girls videos right here for you to enjoy. So now you know how you're spending your day. You're welcome. So until next time, keep shining. We need your light.